SPMP サイドストーリーくんねちぷ
Previous overview. My sister's words reminded me of our ancestral tree, and I decided to head to PoroKotan to find out what was going on. First of all, I have to meet Tannu. As soon as I entered the sea, I noticed that Tannu was nearby. Maybe he was chasing me. As expected, Kamui is reliable. As soon as I jumped into the sea and called out to Tannu, I heard Tannu's melody, and Tannu swam very fast and came to me. I grabbed Tannu's dorsal fin and climbed on Tannu's back, and the next moment my body was above the surface of the sea. When I turned around, my sister was standing on the beach calling my name, and I waved to her and hurried to PoroKotan thinking that I was sorry. Tannu is a very fast swimmer, so I might get to PoroKotan before nightfall. I thought I'd have to put up with the meal for a day, so I have to thank Tannu. Also, Tannu was swimming to keep me from falling off his back, but on the way I saw about 5 people gathered on the beach with their backs to the sea, so I told Tannu to hurry up a bit. I don't want anyone to see me. If they were watching, it would be dangerous. Moreover, that place is close to the newly built Kotan, so there is a high possibility of that. I hugged Tannu's back and tried to keep it as inconspicuous as possible, but I could only pray that the people on the beach wouldn't look at me. Don't look here. While I was worried, the people on the beach finished talking and went into the woods. I was so nervous. From then on, I carefully observed the coast. In the end, I didn't see anyone after that, and I arrived at my usual beach before nightfall. My legs were a little numb when I got off the back of the Tannu and stood on the sand, so I rested for a while and then started walking towards PoroKotan. It's a secret, but I know the way to PoroKotan that everyone else doesn't know. The trigger was a deer. The deer stay away from the public eye, so I can use that trail to sneak myself to different places. It's a bit of a detour, but no one can see this road and I can get to my destination. And, as I expected, I was able to go to PoroKotan without difficulty. It's nice that I arrived at Kotan, but I wanted to sneak to the house, so this time I aimed for the ancestral tree that I could enter from the most inconspicuous place. When I went to the ancestral tree, my grandmother was there, and when she saw me, she smiled and said, "As expected." As expected. Grandma stood up without looking surprised and said, "Welcome back, aren't you hungry?" My grandmother beckoned me to do so. When I heard my grandmother's voice, I cried with a little relief. But after all, hunger won out, and I returned home while hugging my grandmother. When I got home, my grandmother prepared a meal for me, and she said, "I thought you would be back," and she smiled as she watched me eat. When I told her about my sister and where we were staying, my grandmother seemed to know about the place and told me about R.I.PRESENTS. There seems to be a small mountain and a slightly larger river at the end of the sand mountain we saw, and there seems to be Kotan near the river. My grandma told me that it was a place where the grasslands were really beautiful. After that, my grandmother told me about what happened after we left Kotan, which was a bit surprising to me and I couldn't understand it. Today's story ends. The story is updated every Saturday. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.